All right, Holy Apostles, we're moving into another exciting week or weekend at Holy Apostles, and just wanted to go over just a couple things that are going on at Holy Apostles because this is a pretty exciting place to be right now. We've got construction going on everywhere. It's just been a lot of fun worshiping with you in the parish hall. I know for some people it's an inconvenience, but I love being there because I love knowing what's happening and the reason for us being there. But I do gonna just jump into a couple of the announcements just for this week, and wanted to bring those up to you. So let me jump right over here and get that up. All right. So again, these announcement videos we're doing every single week. They are supposed to be on Wednesday, but things have come up, and so they have been coming out on Thursdays, but we're going to try and get them up next Wednesday. We'll give it another shot, who knows. But one of the things that I did want to say, first of all, the QR codes are on the bulletins. They're right here. You just click on them. It brings you right to our YouTube channel. We also have one for our website as well. So it's just an easy way to find us. But before I jump into any more announcements, I did want to apologize for the sound difficulties that we had last week. We had some streaming problems, which kind of filtered into the church service as well. And so my apologies for those that were present, for the noise and all of that. And my apologies for those that were live streaming. The people back there were working diligently to get that up for you all. We just weren't able to do it. So my apologies, and we'll do better next week. That's all we can say. All right. Moving on from there, let me just, first of all, look, I know it's been a weird week. There's been a lot of talk about people eating pets and all sorts of things. Look, at Holy Apostles, all we want to do is bless your pets. Maybe we can change the narrative from eating pets to blessing pets. That's what we're about at Holy Apostles. So on Holy Apostles, or at Holy Apostles, on October 5th, we have our blessing of the beast, or our pet blessing. We'd love for you to bring your pets to Holy Apostles so that we can bless your pets, because for many people, probably a good bit of us, our pets really are a part of our family. And we want to honor that on October 5th, really close to Francis Assisi Day. So keep that in mind. Our pet blessing is October 5th at 10 a.m. Please join us. Whatever pet you got, as long as it's friendly. As long as your pet doesn't bite me, we're all good. But, whatever it is, lizards, snakes, horses, pigs, all the way to your normal standard pets, dogs, cats, birds, fish, all that sort of thing. Bring them out on the 5th. Next announcement is we do have the Great Awakening series coming up. This is the last Sunday at Holy Apostles where we will not have Christian formation. Christian formation starts on September 29th. So keep that in mind. September 29th, we're going to be rolling Christian formation throughout the year. I'm super excited about it. We've got some great topics to look at this year. We're starting out with the Great Awakening. We're going to be spending some time with George Whitefield, as well as Jonathan Edwards, some other great figures, and just looking at what was taking place culturally that enabled this heightened interest in spiritual things. And, what did that look like? What does it look like in the culture when all of a sudden the culture is moving along as if there's nothing bigger outside of it, and then all of a sudden realizes that there's a God out there, and they begin to refocus on the God that exists, what does that look like culturally? So we're going to be looking at that as well. And then we're just going to be looking at some of the ways in which this developed historically. So on September 9th, please join us, 8:30 a.m. I know it's super early. It just is what it is. So September 29th, 8:30 a.m. That is 2 weeks away, a week and a half away. All right, moving on from there. My Bible study is on Zoom is starting up. I have this Bible study on the book of Mark starting October 1st. So in case you haven't picked up, the beginning of October, the end of September, the beginning of October, it gets very, very busy around here. Men's group, women's group, Bible studies, Carol's Bible study. I did misspeak last week when I told you that Deacon Elizabeth's Bible study is going to be starting back up. The latest news on that is that it is not at this time scheduled to start back up. So, but you will have Deacon Carol's Bible study on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. and my Bible study on Tuesdays, 10:30 a.m. on Zoom. We're going to be walking through the Gospel of Mark, which should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. So we got Christian formation kicking in. We've got the Zoom Bible study kicking in. What else we got here? As far as this slide, this is my sermon slide. I'm going to be continuing to talk about or to look at verses in James this week. Last week we looked at James chapter 3, verses 1 through 12. That's predominantly known as the taming of the tongue. But this week we're going to be looking at the next verses. James chapter 3, verses 13 through 17. And mostly these verses are dealing with spiritual wisdom or wisdom from above. What is the difference between our earthly wisdom and spiritual wisdom? And so that's what we're going to be looking at this Sunday coming up. And I'll give you just a little peek into this. This is my election season sermon. I'm not going to talk about the election. I'm not going to talk about candidates. I'm not going to talk about any of that stuff. But this is the sermon for me that is the foundation of how we move throughout this election season. It's a tense time. It's a tense time in the world that you and I are in. And so having helpful ways to be able to walk through this time is what I'm really about. So James chapter 3, verses 13 through 17, that's what we're going to be looking at this week. I'm super excited. Please consider joining us. We're in the parish hall. Services start at 9:30. All right, moving on from there. I do have some encouraging news. We are hoping that Rally Day this year is November 3rd. And the reason that that's significant is because Rally Day is the day that you and I go back into the sanctuary. No more parish hall, worshiping in the newly refurbished or refinished or renewed sanctuary. I'm super excited for this. So it looks like we're going to be throughout the month of October in the parish hall, but we are very hopeful. It looks about 70% that we're going to be in the sanctuary worshiping together on November 3rd. Because it is Rally Day as well, this will be a combined service. So we're all going to gather in there on that opening day of the church. I mean, I was sharing with somebody earlier today. They were sitting in my office, and I said to them, as far as my 11 years at Holy Apostles, this has to be the most exciting time in those 11 years at Holy Apostles. I'm absolutely thrilled about where we're going as a congregation and what God is doing among us. So hopefully, cross your fingers, November 3rd, rolling back into the sanctuary. Just a couple of pictures that I thought were really interesting. This first one, the one to your left, is that is the blown-in insulation in the church. Up in the ceiling, you can see there. That is the whole start of this massive project that we are doing. We started with, how do we insulate the building? And right now, that insulation is already in there. The boards are being cut for the ceiling that's going to cover it. But the main thing that I wanted to share with you on these pictures, the other picture down here is what you can see back there are the new air conditioners that have been installed. So the new air conditioners are installed, the blown-in insulation is in, the ceiling is getting put in this week. It's pretty cool. And so there's a lot of work taking place. But the reason that I bring this up to you is that we've been sending out pictures to you, giving you an idea of what this looks like, what's happening in there. Very shortly, we're going to be pulling back on the pictures. And we're not going to be sending out pictures of what the ceiling looks like. And we're not going to be sending out pictures of the carpet laid. We're not going to be sending out pictures of the lights being installed or the ceiling fans. We're not going to be sending out pictures of the pews getting put back in, because what we want is we want to move into the sanctuary in this great excitement and anticipation for what it is. So we're going to try and build that anticipation and not spoil it with the pictures. We want you to see it for the first time when you enter into there. Last two things that I do want to share with you. There are two things that additions that we added to this project. So the first thing that we added to the project is we're going to paint the entire interior of the church. All the brown is going to be repainted, the same color, but it's going to freshen it up a bit, as well as the off-white is going to be repainted, the same color, but it will freshen it up a little bit too, fix all the holes that are in the walls and all that sort of thing. But the second thing, the really exciting thing, is that we are able to reupholster our kneelers. So we're going to be reupholstering all of the kneelers in the sanctuary, the pew kneelers, as well as the 3 kneelers up by the railing. So when you come in, it's not just carpet, it's not just windows, we're adding to this. So now the kneelers are going to be reupholstered. If you've been kneeling on those recently, they hurt. The padding, the cushion is worn out. That the fabric does not look great like it did when it was first put on there. It's been on there for a while. So we're going to have them reupholstered with new cushion inside them as well. Again, super excited about this project and where Holy Apostles is going. That's what I got for you today. I hope to see you on Sunday. I am thoroughly enjoying our worship services together as one service, as well as in the parish hall. So I will catch you, if not on Sunday, I will catch you next week on these. Hopefully on Wednesday. I hope you all have a great day.